Welcome everyone. This is the fortnightly SIG etcd triage meeting. My name's James. I'm a co-chair for SIG etcd. We've got a shared Google Doc with the agenda for the session, and I'll just put a link to that document in chat. Anyone that's subscribed to the etcd dev mailing list will be able to propose topics for us to discuss. So this is our fortnightly session to try and keep things organized and keep things tidy and clean up some PRs and issues where we can. And we sometimes assign out good first issues during these sessions as well. Before I get into it, I've got a number of things that I'd like to go through, but does anyone have any PRs or issues that they would like to specifically triage? No? All good, easy. Okay, so there is a whole bunch we can go through, team. It's I think this is our first triage meeting for the new year, isn't it? It is, yeah. So there's so much catch up to do. I've been kind of on holiday a little bit, so here we go. Let's dive into it. The first one is for Kubernetes main repository. We have a PR in here to bump the etcd version that will ship with Kubernetes from 3.5.16 to the latest release 3.5.17. This has actually been open for a little bit, and it just needs review. Now, these PRs are actually really simple. So I thought we'd just do it on the call together, and it'd only take a minute. And what I'll just highlight is there's actually a previous PR here from the same person, in fact, bumping etcd to 3.5.16. So we can kind of use that as a sort of comparison as well to help us really speed up reviewing this and seeing if it looks okay. So we've got the same number of files changed here, 7. And it's incredibly trivial. So we're just going from one version number to the next. And if we look through each one of these files, it all looks pretty good to me. So I think we can give this the tick. Yeah. And if we compare that to the previous successful bump that was merged, it's the exact same list of files with essentially an identical diff. So team, just an invitation. We will very soon, probably early next week, be releasing etcd 3.5.18. If someone's interested in contributing to Kubernetes, please keep an eye out for these kinds of PRs because each release cycle, there's a few of them, and they're really easy to review. So you can help kind of speed up the process on behalf of SIG etcd. And back from Google, just for Google, there's no breaking changes from 3.5.16 to 3.5.17. No, no. So it's a patch release, and we should be totally fine from a Kubernetes perspective. All right, so I'll give that the LGTM. But yeah, the invitation's there, team, if you want to contribute to the main Kubernetes repository. Okay, on to the next one. We'll move over to the main etcd repo. And there's a bit of cleanup I want to do. Right, let's have a look at the first one. So I think we made a decision on this to not backport. Originally, Benjamin was wanting to backport this to both stable release branches. When I had a look at some of the proposed backports, we had a bit of discussion back and forth, and there was a decision in this comment here that we won't be backporting it. So I think we can close this because the primary PR has been merged in main, and that's pretty straightforward. So cool. On to the next one. This one is something we have to do from time to time, is migrate issues between issue and discussion. So for anyone that isn't familiar with it, for the etcd project, we manage all of our support issues and just kind of general questions as GitHub discussions, which look a little bit like this, rather than issues, because we're trying to keep the issue list specific to our bugs and our features and the stuff we actually really need to work on, and just keep the support and general discussion organized elsewhere. So this one here opened late-ish last year. There's a person having issues with etcd on Talos. It was not able to be reproduced at our end. We didn't get some of the debugging information from the person that raised the issue. And it looks to me like an issue with something around Talos, not etcd. So for anyone that is part of the etcd org, you should have triage permissions. And it's definitely, if you're a reviewer, I think if you're a member as well. And one of the things you can do in GitHub is convert things to discussions. I'm trying to think, like, we've had a whole bunch of these triage meetings, but I can't remember if I've actually shown or explained like what we do for that. So this is a pretty good example. To me, it's a support issue. There's not a clear bug that we've been able to reproduce that we could actually do something with. So I'm going to convert it. First thing I do is we'll just chuck a message in. I can't type. Bug. Righto. So we don't need to have a clear reproducible bug on our side. So they should be converted to a support discussion. So we can just leave a comment. And when we convert it, this issue will be locked. So we'll convert to discussion. We'll put it in our Q&A section. It'll take a moment to migrate. It's pretty quick. Cool. And if we have a look, we've still got all of the discussion in here. It's now a discussion. I'll just get rid of that comment on this side because it'll stay on the issue side. And there we go. It's in Q&A. We can take the bug label off it, give it the support label. And there we go, team. So it's pretty simple. This is just something that we kind of need to do from time to time. People sort of jump to raising bugs when maybe they don't have a clear reproduce setup that we can actually use. Or sometimes people just ask questions through GitHub issues, not realizing that we use discussions to do that. So for anyone that's in the triage team, there you go, simple process.
Do discussions get enough attention?
Do they get enough attention? It's a good question. Let's have a look. Honestly, probably not as much as I would like. If you look through the list here, there's the odd one that we were able to resolve. You see the green ticks here. Quite a few get like a fair bit of discussion. So yeah, I'd like to see more with a green tick next to them. But we are only human. We can only do what we have capacity to do. And we've got to find ways to stay focused. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions on discussions, team? I don't think we've ever talked about it in previous triage sessions. No, all good. All right, let's move forward. What's next? So we've got a follow-up here. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so this is one of the discussions we had at KubeCon in Utah towards the end of last year. We had a person that was volunteering to help us with modernizing how we do software bill of materials for etcd, which is a fantastic idea. So they volunteered to give us a hand, and we haven't had an update from them since late last year. So I think we should check in. Normally we try and check in around the 30-day mark if we're not hearing from folks. Obviously we've kind of been over the holiday period here, so it sort of slipped a little bit. So we'll just check in. Cool. So again, just invitation team, those that are keen to help triage for the project, please feel invited and empowered to follow up with folks when we have some of these key issues that aren't being worked on actively. All right, next one. This will be the last one for main etcd repo. Although I see there's also a comment in chat from Adeyemi, so we'll have a look at that one too. This one from mid last year. Merrick was concerned about a 12-month drop in coverage of 6%, which is fair. That's concerning. Going through that, there was a bit of discussion back and forth about how we tackle that, what we can do. And one of the things we did, and I think it's a shout out to Ivan, I think on this one, is enabling the proper integration with CodeCov. We had to raise an issue from memory in Kubernetes org to get the GitHub integration turned on properly. So yeah, we used to get this warning saying that we didn't have full coverage functionality. And I've seen it in a few PRs since this, where CodeCov is actually commenting on the PR properly now and letting us know when coverage is missing from certain sections of code, which is great. So we haven't had any updates since December. I had a quick look earlier this morning, and if we look at last 12 months, turn on some JavaScript. It was actually looking right. I think it was around 1% drop over 12 months. So it's kind of stabilized. Yeah, there we go, 12-month trend, 1.3. So obviously drops aren't great, but that's sort of not the end of the world. So I think we can probably close this now. It's not clear what the next sort of action is. We've kind of discussed it as a project. Yeah. Anyone have any thoughts on this?
Should we ask Marek? Are you fine closing this now? Because he raised the issue initially.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so let's see what he thinks.
And maybe if he doesn't reply in like the next fortnightly, we can close it.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 1% is still not what we want to see in terms of like reduction, but it's a lot more stable. All right, let's come back to that one. Thank you. And I just want to, before we move on to the website, for the last 10 minutes or so, I just want to have a look at the issue from Adiemis. So let's have a look. Righto, not triage, but confirming what's left besides end-to-end tests in this issue. It appears backporting may be pending. Let's have a read. How far did we get with backports? Okay, we might still be waiting for an end-to-end test.
Maybe
Yeah.
we just need to ask Arca because I think he's more active right now in the operator.
He is, I've seen it, yeah.
So maybe he just dropped this task.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can pick
he's
it.
there.
Yep. Hi. Hello. Yeah, I am still yet to get back to this. So if anybody is there willing to take it up, they can, or otherwise I can get back to it in the coming week.
Thanks, Arca.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, let's just put a quick comment. So I'm guessing there's been no backport PR at all yet, right? Because we're still waiting on the end-to-end test, so I'm just checking that. Yeah.
It appears the fix may also be missing from what I read. So that's also something we want to check.
So Arca, we've got a work in progress PR here. Is this for the initial fix? Were you going to append an E2E to this PR?
yeah, actually I started reading up on it. Like I'm not too familiar with the E2E tests, but then again I need to get back to it. So yeah, it might take some time. So I can pick it up, like it is, I can take it up in the coming week. But if it's something urgent, then if and somebody is ready to take it up, I can, yeah, give it to them. Otherwise, I can pick it up. That's good.
Okay, thanks, Arca. Yeah, so I guess the invitation is there, team. If someone really wants to contribute to this specific issue, it seems like Arc is happy for you to kind of build on top of this PR, perhaps, with an E2E test added. Otherwise, yeah, Arca, if you have some time next week to look into the E2E test, that would be awesome. Let's just put a quick comment in.
Sure.
And I think just a heads up, I don't think this is a good first issue.
No, there's a lot of context
Mhm.
and cognitive burden to work through in
Mhm.
understanding the background on this one. So yeah. Included. Okay, that's kind of where we're at. Let's jump forward. Okay, I want to do a bit more cleanup in the website stuff. There's one that I think we should assign out as a good first issue. I had a read of it earlier today. So apparently we still have a docs page that's referring to latest. in the, they didn't even include what page, did they? Ah, fun. Okay, let me just have a quick look. But if it's, I mean, if it is, like, we need to get rid of it because there's a really, the context is there's a really old image tag called latest. We don't update it. We advise people to use the actual tagged versions of etcd images.
Could it be that page?
Have you found it? Let's have a look. Yep. Awesome. Good spotting. Thank you. Let's just quickly check if there's any other reference. Let's have a look. We want to search tag latest. It'll probably be across a couple of different versions. 7 files. All right. So opcode container 3.6, 3.5, and I'm guessing 3.4 as well.
Is etcd even stored in Quay anymore directly like that?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this is valid. Okay, so let's refine this issue. Let's get it set up as a good first issue, and hopefully someone can tidy it up for us. It'll be looks like a pretty trivial pull request. So discuss.
I can take that. Now, if we're not supporting the latest tag, even like for quick development or anything, should we take it down?
We
Short answer. Go for it, Ivan.
Yeah, sorry. We do have, so remember we have a, I don't know what's the name in Hugo, but we have a variable with the latest version. That's where you're gonna say probably, James, or not.
Some of the docs from the quick glance that I saw here looks like they're for older versions of etcd. The easiest thing probably would be to just go to the file. If it's for 3.2, just update to 3.2 because there is a tag for 3.2, right? We don't want to update the 3.2's doc with the latest version or like 3.5.
Oh no, but I mean, remove the tag from the Docker registry, just so that people don't incorrectly download it.
Let me respond to a couple of things there. So short answer around the Docker registry. Yeah, it'd be great to get rid of that image. Unfortunately, we have a permissions issue with quay.io, which means I don't believe we can actually do that. I think we would be able to do it for GCR, but we have to migrate off GCR anyway. Yeah, there's an issue in the main etcd repo that's kind of talked about it before.
Also, for an image that anybody could be like, referencing to, I would never recommend like outright removing it without like extensive plan. Like what happens if someone is using it for whatever reason? We can just break their build by removing something.
Right.
So
yeah, you're right.
We can stop like on the docs from newer people from using it, but outright removing it would be. So.
Okay, so there's our 3 pages we need to fix. So as a reminder for anyone that hasn't worked on the etcd website before, there are different versions of the docs, and we only update or maintain the versions that are currently supported. So for us, that's 3.4, 3.3.6 currently. What we have to do is there is a version variable, as Ivan was mentioning, and let's just bring up the section in the code where that is. So it's under content en, I think, where is it, data? Might be data. Yeah, I think it's under data. Just double check one of the versions. Yeah.
I think the redirects file
where is it?
Gets it.
Redirects. Where does that sit again? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Index.redirects. Yeah, here we go. So there are That's not the one I'm thinking of, is it? Latest.
I think you are just looking
site
at it, right?
params.
Like
There you go.
that's the latest table, but I think the file that you were looking at, it said something like it cascades all those values down from this folder structure onward. So I think if we just use
Config.yaml,
version,
here it is. Yeah, here it is. So for 3.5, we can use this. We do want to include the patch version if we can.
You can maybe open one of the pull requests to update the version. And I think that's the quickest way to get to where it is.
Because we've got that automated PR that,
Yeah.
or automated branch creation, right?
Yeah, so go to pull requests.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah.
And check closed, and it should be a recent one.
Yeah, I remember.
There you go.
These. Yeah, we just update. We'll do it through these. It's probably the easiest thing. Yeah.
Get version.
Cool. And there is a script that drives this, isn't there, in the scripts directory, or is it still under the GitHub? Sorry, the Pro GitHub workflow. One of the workflows.
It's
This one.
in there.
Yeah. Okay. We have an automated process. Cool. All right, so we update that script, get it to update additional pages. I think that's pretty straightforward. Happy with that, team?
Yeah.
Jay, if you want it assigned, can you write comment on that pull request on that issue /assign?
Okay.
Yes, that would help. Yeah. Cool. I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll assign you out on that one, Jay. Yeah. Okay,
Just
team. So
/assign.
Yeah, just /assign.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Nice. There we go, team. So that one actually took a little bit longer just to talk through. So we didn't get to quite the full list of website things. We can come back to those next fortnight. That's all good. Or if anyone else wants to triage those in the time in between, please go for it. With that, any last questions or agenda items today, team? Otherwise, we can call it there. No. All good. Okay, team, thanks for coming along. That was a great session. I hope to see you next week for our regular community call. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
You
Bye.
too.
Thanks,
Thank you.
likewise.
Bye.